Hello everybody and welcome back to Panda Creates Tutorials. I'm Panda and this month I am back with another demonstration. I have my goodie box right here we're doing Rile Up Creations starter packs this month, which is a rhinestone starter pack that comes with everything that you need to make your very first rhinestone cup. Now I am not new to doing rhinestones. I do hot fix rhinestones. I've done cups before. I've done straws, right? A whole variety of things before. But I thought I'd buy a starter pack from her because she makes her own templates to suit the SS16 stones that come in your pack as well. So I thought that I'd buy a starter pack, give her a bit of a shout out and show you how you can create your very first rhinestone cup too. So let's get started. Alrighty, so in the starter pack, obviously the most important thing is going to be your 20-ounce skinny. She does have an option to have with the tumbler or without the tumbler. With the tumbler, it is $50. The tumbler is a 20-ounce skinny. It comes with a screw top lid, right, and a stainless steel straw. Okay, so the method that we're going to be doing is honeycomb rather than linear. So the lid will be really easy to do as well, which we will get to. But tumbler. It also comes with a little 10ml bottle of super tight adhesive. Now I have always used Liquid Fusion, same kind of little bottle, but Liquid Fusion for my rhinestone cups. This super tight adhesive is a new product, so I'm very excited to use that. But she sends you 10 mils, which should be more than enough to do the cup in its own little bottle with the needle tip. Okay. To make it nice and easy to put it onto your cup before the rhinestones without making a really big mess. Let's see if I can keep all of these in frame. Okay, so nope, the cup just wants to do its own thing today, so that's okay. So your 10 mils of super tight. You get a little tray to put your rhinestones in as well. You get the wax pen. Okay, it comes in a cute little tin. I got a pink one. And the wax pens come with 2 spare tips as well. Tumbler, glue, wax pen, tray, rhinestones. So you get 4 bags of SS16 rhinestones. You can pick your colors if you want to. If you don't pick your colors at checkout, she's just going to select 4 colors for you. But I did want to pick my colors because I have a very specific color scheme in mind for mine. So I picked 2 bags of the, let's see if I can get these to show up. Please show up. Like the white clear crystals. This is Optimism. And I also got 2 bags of the color shift purple. There's all different kinds of purple in there. If you can see, there's like a violet, a blue violet color and a lavender color, and I just thought they were really pretty. This is Intuition. So Intuition and Optimism are the 2 colors that I'm going to be using. It also comes with a free digital download of the pattern that you want to use. So there's 2 styles. Linear is where all of the stones sit on top of each other. So it would be stone, 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 where they sit directly on top of each other. The honeycomb pattern is where you put one line down and then the next line above it sits into the grooves between each stone. Okay. I hate, each to their own, but I hate the linear pattern. It does my head in, so we are definitely going with the honeycomb method. I keep knocking my table and I can see it shaking. Sorry about that. I will keep my elbows off the table like my grandmother will be very proud of me for doing so. So yes, we are using the honeycomb patterns for this tutorial. Now the templates that she has a plain honeycomb one and a plain linear one. There is an argyle pattern which has like the diamonds that run across in rows. She's got a funky cube, like a 3D cube looking template as well, and she's always adding to that and working on new templates. These are templates that she sits down and actually counts out and creates herself, which as you'll see in this tutorial, I tried to do the same thing. And got very, very frustrated and ended up having to call in her assistance to help me out. So it's definitely something that not everybody can do, and you do get your free digital download with whatever template you want to use as well. So as I said, and please don't judge me on my print quality, when I printed this out I was running low on black ink, but this is the template that we're going to be using. This is, I'll hold it up, the honeycomb, like just the plain honeycomb template. It doesn't have any pattern or anything in it. And if you can see what I mean by you lay down one line and then the line directly above it sits in the little groove between the two that's below it. That is the honeycomb method. This is the pattern that we are going to be using, but I thought I'd be clever and show you that you can actually create different designs from this plain pattern. The design that I ended up doing, like I said, I had to reach out to Zoe. It is one that I have done before, but with a larger stone size. So the template that I had bought off Etsy for that larger stone size wasn't going to work. And for the life of me, I could not figure out how to make it work with a smaller stone, because obviously the smaller the stones are, the more stones around the cup you're going to have. And within a couple of hours, she had it figured out and got back to me and said, this is what you need to do to make it work. So I'm going to show you that by using this pattern, you can actually create your own templates. It does take a little bit of patience. Okay, I lied. It takes a lot of freaking patience. But the design that we're going to be doing in this demonstration, she is actually going to add to her repertoire. She's also working on a buffalo plaid template as well, which I'm really, really excited about. So that's everything that you get in the pack. I also got, I want to give a shout out to these cute little love heart trays, right? They're a 2-piece tray, but if you can see the little lines, like the ribbing in it, when you put your stones in, and I'm going to use black ones that I already had as an example. Right. When you put your stones in and you give it a little bit of a shake, it starts turning all of your stones up the right way because of those rigid lines, and it just makes life so much easier, especially when you're doing what we're going to be doing with the wax pen, picking them up. So that's the little love heart trays. They do work as a carry case as well. I highly recommend you adding that to your order when you buy your starter set. But that is everything that comes in the starter set. You get your cup, your tray, your glue, your 4 packets of rhinestones, and your wax pen, plus the downloadable template. So now that we have all of that out of the way, let's get started on the actual cup, shall we? Alrighty, so I'm all set up to start. I have my black, my crystal, and my purple rhinestones all set up. I have my little wax pen. I have my glue, my cup. Okay. I also have my template. Pardon me. And this is the template that I have done. Okay. And this is what I mean by using the honeycomb template that you saw in the beginning. And I went through with a purple and a black marker and marked out my design. You can see there are some spots where I messed up. But following the pattern, it should be all right. If I hold it up, hopefully you can start to see what I'm going to try and attempt here. It's like what they call a mini argyle or a rainbow argyle pattern, where instead of in the diamond is all the same color, we've got it in a way where the purple and the black, all the diamonds, if you can see, actually feed into the next pattern. So for every 4 diamonds, you have the two colors making up a diamond. Okay, it may not make much sense at the moment, but I promise it will. And then all the black lines that you can see are our crisscross pattern. So the diamonds themselves are going to be the purple and the crystal diamonds, and then our crisscrossy lines, we're going to use the black rhinestones that I already had on hand to do them. Okay, so as I mentioned, Zoe from Rile Up is actually in the process of making this a template that you can download for yourself. I have seen the rainbow argyles done in like a pride rainbow. I've seen people use a light blue and a dark blue. If you Google search it, I think there's one where it's like a lime green and a turquoise color. Yeah, so very, very, very pretty, very finicky. But I figure, you know, may as well rise to the challenge and see if we can do it with the SS16s instead of the SS20s, which is obviously going to take a little while longer. So I'm going to start by working row by row in a horizontal pattern. I'm going to do the first 2 rows on camera, then I'm going to go away. My son actually has 2 hours of tumbling training on a Wednesday night. So my goal is to take my kit with me. It's about a 40-minute drive away, so there's not enough time for me to drive down there, drop him off, come home, turn around and go back down again. So I usually stay down there for the whole 2 hours. So this is what I'm going to be working on in the couple of coming weeks while I take him to training as well. So we're going to start by doing the first 2 rows together. Then I'm going to do 1 lot of diamonds just so that you can start seeing the pattern. And then from there, as we go up in thirds, I will come and show you where we were up to, do another couple of rows, and then go from there. Okay, otherwise this is going to end up being like a 36-hour video of you just watching me place the stones. Okay, so we're going to do the first 2 lines together, and then we're going to work our way through there. But as you can see, if I can get my camera to focus, you can see the template underneath, and I've just gone through and dotted it out so that I know what goes where. The black dots are going to be our crystals, the purple dots are going to be the the rhinestones, sorry, and the black straight lines are going to be our black rhinestones, which make the line pattern in between. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? Please focus. Thank you so much. Okay, so I always start at the bottom. I know some people start at the top, but for me, I work bottom to top. So that's what we're going to start with. We're going to get our little container of glue, and we're going to start by moving you guys down so you can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. We're going to start by just putting, whoops, not too much, just a little line of glue to start with. Spread it out so that we don't waste any. And then I'm going to get a baby wipe and clean my tip and put my cap back on so that it doesn't dry out. If you are using the needle tip bottoms, oh my goodness, Laura, the needle tip bottles, I'm gonna speak properly today, and they do clog. Soaking them in hot water can fix it. Getting a pin or something, or like a sewing pin, and unblocking it that way also works. Okay, so starting from the beginning, have I got this upside down? I do. I have my template upside down. That's why it doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so I want 1, 2, 3, 4 crystals. So I'm going to get my crystals. I'm going to start with helps if there's wax on my pen. Ugh! We'll get there, guys. It's because I'm trying to use a new wax pen. And new wax pens are always a bit of a bitch to get started. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, so 1. If it gives me too much grief, I might just switch to the one that I've been using forever. Because the wax has gone all soft and it's a little bit easier to manipulate. But we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that they're all lined up properly. Okay, so we have our first 4. Okay, then we need 1 black to start the top, the bottom of our first outline, and then another 4. Yep. Okay, and then a black. And then another 4 crystals. Okay, so I'm going to do that same pattern, 4 crystals, 1 black, the whole way around the rest of the cup. I'm going to speed up this next bit and then I will slow it down and come back for what's the word I'm looking for? The second line. Okay, so with a little bit of effort and a little bit of stress, we have our first line down, and the first line is always the hardest. I think that's why some people start at the top, because then they can just line the stones up with the top of the cup. As you can see, I now have it on an arm because you can't roll wet rhinestones on a flat surface and expect them to stay. So I work bottom to top, because then to me it's top to bottom when I'm holding it. Okay, so we have completed our pattern the whole way around. There is one space, where is it? Because the template doesn't quite go the whole way around the cut. Here, it's what when I was talking to Zoe about doing this template, it's what she calls negative spacing. See how it goes black, crystal black here, right? The template is just 1 stone short. So we still have our continuous pattern the whole way around, where we have 4 crystal, 1 black, 4 crystal, 1 black, all the way around. It's a repetitive pattern of 12. So there's 12 sections, and then when you get to the very end, I ended up with 2 black, which she warned me about. So we're just filling with a clear crystal. So when the design is finished, there is going to be a line that goes right up the middle that is just this negative space, which will all be the crystals. Okay, but otherwise that is our first line, and now we move on to the second, which gets to be a little bit more exciting. We want to go in, so we want to work to the right. Okay, so because it's a honeycomb pattern, the next line, am I in frame? No, I'm not. Let's try again. The next line that we want to lay down, hang on, I need to start from the beginning. Here we go. Okay, so we want to put our next stone above, between the 2 stones below it. Okay, So we're going to pop our black one here like this, and then we want to go crystal, purple, crystal, like so, and then another black. Well, nope, we need glue first. Like so. And we want to make sure that they're nice. Oops, nope. They're nicely nestled into the gap between the two stones below them. Like so. And now we have started on our second line. So this line, the whole way, will go black crystal, crystal, purple, crystal, black in a repeating pattern the whole way around. And then when we get to here, we're going to end up with our negative space again. Okay. So again, okay, and because the black is our outline, we do want a double black, right? Because then the line's going to go this way and the line's going to go that way, and this is our starting point, okay? So it's going to be black, crystal, purple, crystal, black, black, crystal, purple, crystal, black, the whole way around, okay? I'm going to speed up this next part until we're finished the next line. So there is our negative space again. We've now got two blacks next to each other because we're starting to make the lines, but that is now our second row. Okay, so as I was trying to explain, the diamonds are going to be clear and purple. So that line was a little bit boring because it's only the start of the purple. The next line around, looking at it, is black, then two purples, then black, then a crystal, then black, then two purples, then black and a crystal. So the more that we move up, the more you're going to start seeing that purple. Okay. But I'm going to let this dry now. That's my first two lines down. I'm going to let this dry. Okay, I'm going to take this with me to training. I'm going to work on it a little bit more so that we can start seeing the pattern. And then I'll be back to show you a little bit more. Okay, but just to recap, to start with your first line following your template. Right, start with your first line. The first line is always the hardest because the first line is the one that you've got to make sure is straight. If your first line is not straight, the rest of your cup is going to be wonky. Okay, and then after that first line goes on and it's straight and you fiddled with it and you're happy with it, right, from there, following the template as you go up becomes a lot easier because it's the honeycomb pattern. The stones literally do slot between the two stones beneath it. Okay, so it's going to start becoming a lot quicker once that first line is down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a ruler and I'm going to cross out my first two lines so that I know where I'm up to. You've got to consider it a little bit like knitting and stuff like that. My mum used to have, because she used to knit and crochet and stuff, she used to have a row counter that she'd click every time she finished a row. we can't find it anywhere. I was going to cheat and use that and show you that you can use them to count your rows. And then obviously you just number your rows up the side of your template. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Every time you finished a row, you'd click your little knitting tool and then it'd tell you what row you were up to. I can't find that anywhere. So I just wanted to mention it. If you do have one, use it. If you don't have one, they're not very expensive. You can get them from Spotlight. But if you're new to rhinestones or counting rows or using templates or anything like that, I do suggest using one of them because it can make it a lot easier for you to keep up to where you are up to. So that is where I'm leaving it for now, and I will be back very shortly to show you where we're up to in the design, and hopefully by then you'll start to see the rainbow argyle pattern coming through a little bit then as well.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Panda from the editing room. Guess who managed to mute her microphone once again? And I didn't realize until I got to the editing phase and realized that this part of the video had no sound. So, you know, I suppose I manifested the need to work on my voiceovers, and now I'm getting hit left, right and center on opportunities to work on my narration skills. So this is basically where we are at for this part of the cup. You can see the pattern starting to come through and the rainbow argyle pattern starting to show up. So on each of the purple diamonds we have 4 of the purple rhinestones on each side of the black line, which then make up the purple diamond itself. We then have the same pattern with the 4 little diamonds on each side of the black line making up the crystal diamonds, and then we have those solid black lines going through which also make up their own diamonds. So this is the rainbow argyle pattern starting to show through now, and then we will be back when I've done a little bit more. I think at this stage I'd done about 10 or 12 lines. So the pattern is definitely coming together. From here I was pretty much able to figure out the pattern myself, and I wasn't using the pattern after there because it just becomes a repetitive pattern. But this is where we are at, and now I will go and do some more of the cup and then come back, and hopefully my audio will be working for the next part.
Okay, so here is where we are at. I did try and record. I got to about here. Yeah, it would have been this point. I was going to work from this point with you guys. But after I had finished, I realized that I didn't film it. I thought I hit record and I didn't. So now we're almost finished. I'm going to move that out of the way so I don't knock it over. So we are now at, if you can see, our very last line. I've already gone ahead and done half of it, so we're just going to finish the cup together. I'll quickly go through, I'm going to move that up a little bit actually. I'm going to go through quickly what I'm going to do with my lid. Okay, and then we'll finally get this uploaded. I actually got to this point here and ran out of black stones. So while I messaged Zoe and I was like, help, so she sent me, she had the same black stones as what I had previously, so she sent me some of hers. They matched perfectly. While I was waiting for them to arrive, I was going through and doing the pattern and just leaving spots where the black went in. Wouldn't recommend it because I had anxiety the whole time that my black lines weren't going to line up. It's worked out all right, but it was a lot of unnecessary blah. And also while I was working on it last night to get ready to film, I left the lid open on my glue all night, and I didn't realize it was blocked until I went and did tried to finish off this last line to film for you guys. So I have pulled the needle out. I will soak it in hot water and clean it, but I just want to get this filmed and uploaded because I'm already running very behind for this video. So let's finish the last line together in a way where I'm in frame, hey? I got to a point probably after that first part I filmed where I'd made, or the second part, sorry, where I'd done a third of the cup. From there I stopped using the pattern that I'd printed out. It got pretty easy to follow, as you're about to see here. Once your black lines are established, it's easy to figure out which direction they go in. It's easy to figure out every one of these little diamonds is 2 up and a 2 across, right? So you have a pattern of 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty easy to figure out where you're at as you move up the cup. Once you get, I'd probably say the first 2 full black diamonds sorted, you can kind of try and, you can pretty much figure it out by eye from there. Okay, which is what you're about to see. I can see that I have these 2 crystals. All I'm missing on those, because they've already got 3 each, is the 1 crystal, like so. Which means this middle one here must be a purple. So we'll put him in there. And then we go on and we can see that our black line goes in each direction like so. See? And that's the rest of the pattern the whole way around. It'll go black, crystal, purple, crystal, black for the rest of the cup now. Okay, so I just realized I put a purple down where it should have been a black because we want the pattern to start going in the other way. So I've just pushed that purple out of the way, put the black down in the right spot, and I'm going to finish off with 2 purples in that section where we end up with that negative space every second line. Push him back in there like that. Okay, you see our negative space line, right? So that finishes that off like that. And now that is, let's see if I can fit it all in frame. That is our pattern. So we have our black crisscrossy diamonds, and then our crystal diamonds go through the center of each black X, and then the same with the purple. So you end up with 3 different kind of diamond patterns instead of just the standard argyle. And that is my cup. So I'll leave that there just for you to admire. The lid. I've estimated that I can fit 2 stones high around the side. And then when I'm doing this part, I'm going to start on the inside and work my way around to here. Because it steps up and then steps down again, I can't go putting rhinestones over the rises and the dips, obviously. So to go all the way across, 1 stone will go at an angle of, is that 45 degrees? 45 degree angle up, then a 45 degree angle down, and then there is enough room for 1 stone around the outside as well. So that is the plan. So I'm going to finish off the lid tonight and tomorrow, and then I will be back for the outro so that you can see the finished product, and I will give my final thoughts. Okay, so she's finished. I changed my mind. I didn't do the top of the lid. I decided that after I'd struggled a little bit, if you can see, I tried to continue the pattern up the lid, and then after I'd done that, it was a bit of a pain in the bum to get that lined up and all finished, but we got there. So once I'd finished that, I decided that I wasn't going to do the top. I'm going to leave the top plain and just have right down the side as the design. So that is what we're left with. What do you reckon? Okay, so final thoughts on these starter kits from Rile Up Creations. I had a lot of fun. Like I mentioned before, I'm not a huge rhinestone person. God didn't grant me with a lot of patience, but I did have fun doing this one. I think it came out really, really, really well. I'm actually quite impressed that I managed to pull this off. I'm a little bit proud of this, so I'm going to peacock for a second. I had never used the Loctite glue that she sent before. I'm a liquid fusion girl, but I did find it was very easy to work with. It does dry clear, and it's pretty strong. Like, there were a couple of times where I messed up, and I didn't realize until I was doing the next row later on that I'd messed up. And even after only like 15-20 minutes when it had dried, I had to use my X-Acto knife to get in under the stone. So once it is fully cured, I don't think these babies are going anywhere. I think once they're on, they're on. So I was quite impressed with the quality of the glue. The rhinestones are absolutely gorgeous. If you see from the outside to the middle, the purple is a color shift purple. I think that's absolutely stunning. I love the purples. The crystal ones that we used for the white part are actually quite shiny too. I know a lot of times when you buy like the crystal rhinestones, they're a little bit dull and a little bit boring, so I was really, really impressed with the quality of these rhinestones as well. One thing I did find, and it was only in the crystal colored stones, I ended up using just over or just under 1 full bag of the stones to do this design. So getting 4 colors or 4 bags in your starter kit, I've still got 2 full bags and then a little bit extra, so it's more than enough to be able to complete complicated designs like this. I did find, however, there was 3, maybe 4 SS20 sized stones in the bag. Now obviously that's not Rile Up Creations fault, that's her supplier's oversight. But I did want to mention that just in case the design that you're doing, you have to have the exact amount of stones, please take into consideration that there's always a risk that you might end up with sizes that aren't supposed to be in there. Having said that, I think there's like 1440 1,440 stones in each bag or something ridiculous, and out of that entire number I only came across, I think it was 3, maybe 4. Right, so it's not a huge deal, but I did want to mention it just in case, you know, you need an exact amount. But that is what I'll put it this way so that you can see, that is what we are left with. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. I have a pattern, and again, my patterns are for SS20 stones, and these are SS16. So I do have a buffalo plaid pattern that I'd be keen on trying out sometime as well. I might send that template to Zoe to see if she can resize it for this size, because I think that would be fun as well, especially coming up to Christmas. Can you imagine having a like a crystal red and green buffalo plaid rhinestone cup for Christmas? I think that would be pretty freaking cool. But that is where I am leaving today. I do apologize that this one took me as long as it did to get out. All up, this cup took me 3 weeks. And that was not me spending hours and hours at a time, because like I mentioned, I don't have the attention span or the patience to be able to sit down and complete a cup like this in a couple of days. But that's just me personally. If you're somebody that loves rhinestoning, I don't think it would take you very long at all. But all up, with me just dabbling in it now and then while I was watching YouTube and whatnot at night time, this cup took me 3 weeks. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learnt something. I hope this encourages you to step outside your comfort zone, even if you're not a rhinestone person, and maybe give something like this a crack. If for nothing else, that to create something pretty so that you can show your friends and be like, excuse me, but I made this, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing after this video goes live. I'm going to start posting this cup everywhere and be like, ta-da! Thank you once again for joining me. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe. I will be back in September to bring you another demo and review, and I have a few tutorials coming your way as well. I hope you stay safe until I see you again, and good luck out there. Bye guys.